My guy A-Wad Radio in studio here as we get ready for this. I'm fired up for this game. Pair of two lost teams, great defense, great offense. What are the keys to victory for you here?
Well, I think it's all about controlling the time of possession in this game. If we can run the ball against that defensive line, you certainly have a shot to win this game here. I know that the fan base is going to probably want them to take some deep shots early in this game here and back Pittsburgh off of it. But I do think the game plan for Washington should be to run it early, run it often, play action off of that, and then go back to the running game in the third quarter. I feel like this is a game here where whatever happens in the first half, you're going to have to run in the third and the fourth quarter if you want to win this game.
We're getting to the big games late in the season where we're establishing the ground game. Winning that time of possession is so important. Brian Robinson didn't play last week, trending towards maybe playing this week. You got the short turnaround of the Thursday nighter in Philly. Does that change how you would use him this week at all?
No, I look at it like this is a home game. This is a guy that was close to playing last week, so close that he was on the field warming up before the game. I just don't see how a full 7 days later he's not able to go with all the information we heard about how close he was last game. And like I said with running the football, the biggest difference between the Ravens and the Commanders in that game was they had Derrick Henry and we didn't have our bruiser. Right? The Steelers are a playoff team just like Baltimore was. We need our bruiser, Brian Robinson Jr. That's how we beat the Giants last week. That's a bad team. It doesn't matter. You need to run the ball when everyone around the country knows you're running it in the fourth quarter, and that's what they did.
It's an exciting matchup. Take me to the other side of the ball here, Adam. You've got the Commanders' defense, newly bolstered Commanders' defense, against a Russell Wilson-led offense now. We've got a small sample size on that. He struggled early in games, has really seemed to pick up his game as things have gone on. They're undefeated, obviously, with Russ behind center. What do they need to do to slow him down?
They got to get to him early. I think you send 5-6 guys early in this game here. Do not let Russ get any confidence in his abilities here. Make him move off of his spot often in this game here. Send the extra rusher. I love the double cross blitz right up the middle with Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. Dante Fowler's been having a good season as well. And maybe you do have some more trust in your secondary now that you add Marshawn Lattimore to blitz, to send an extra man here and make Russ burn you like he did when he was a rookie and a sophomore in his first few years there, where he could make a guy miss in the backfield and throw it deep. I don't think he can still do that on a consistent basis, and that's why I'm bringing the dogs.
We've seen a lot of Russell Wilson for it being an AFC-NFC matchup because he almost had that He Mary last year in Denver. He's no Jayden Daniels. He didn't complete the Hail Mary, of course.
And he gave up an 18-point lead in that one.
Didn't finish the play. Yeah, they came back and couldn't quite finish off the comeback. A couple years ago, Monday Night Football here with Seattle, we saw Russell Wilson. He wants to throw the ball long. That's obviously what gets him going. The Steelers' offense traditionally hasn't been built for that. They've been built to win slowly. I'm curious how Mike Tomlin, changes those two concepts and gets him rolling. But as you mentioned, when you add another physical player in the secondary, it frees up what you're able to do back there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other part of this game is you cannot let Najee Harris get going. You can't let the Steelers run the ball successfully on first down. It's a battle of, I feel like, two offenses that want to do similar things where they want to run the ball on first down and get 4 or 5 yards, because that opens up both teams' playbooks on second down to be able to take some more deep shots, some intermediate shots, and to get away from the pass rushers there. And 2nd and 6, you really do have the option where you could fake a guy out and maybe just have your quarterback keep it around the outside there. So I think first down is such a key in this game. And as we saw last week, the ability of the Washington Commanders defense to create negative plays. That's how they got Daniel Jones off the field. It was Jeremy Chin, Frankie Louvu making hits in the backfield. That's going to be crucial.
I mean, my favorite stat this year is 3 turnovers through 9 games. Absolutely incredible. Is that something that's sustainable? Is that luck? Is that skill? Is that coaching? What do you chalk that up to? And I think we all agree if they only turn the ball 3 more times in the next 9 games, they're going to win a lot of those football games.
Absolutely. I think that's putting yourselves in an opportunity where you're staying ahead of the sticks, so you don't have to make something crazy happen. Michael, you'd probably know the stats better than me, but it feels like most interceptions happen on 3rd and long situations where you're trying to make something happen downfield. We just have avoided those situations. We haven't had a scenario where Jayden feels like he has to do everything to make a play. It's the first down run. It's the second down successful runs as well. When you're setting up 3rd and short situations or not even facing 3rd downs because you got it, you got a first down, just 2 plays there. That's how you avoid the mistakes that are turnovers, but also it's everybody bought in. We have fumbled the football, but we've recovered our own fumbles because guys are locked in and they're believing in this coaching staff.
There have been 2 hustle play fumbles. One of them, Olamide Zacchaeus ran and got the other one. OZ did fumble that, and I think it was McNichols right behind him, ready to
and
pounce
Ertz
on the
dropped
ball.
one too, but then also recovered his, right? And so, and then I think maybe even Allegretti picked up one. So like
The first game was luck, though, when Jayden picked up those fumbles when we fumbled out of bounds against Tampa.
Yeah.
He's cleaned up his game since then.
Absolutely, and I think it can continue. I think this is a game here where also Jayden should be able to burn the Steelers with his legs. They're going to blitz, right? And even when they don't blitz, TJ Watt's going to get in that backfield. Jaden's going to have to make him miss here, and he's been so good at that throughout this season. I hope it continues on Sunday.
How much Marshawn Lattimore can we expect? How much do you want?
Oof, I don't know, man.
It's a wild card here.
If he's ready to go, if he's available, you play him in man-to-man situations. Maybe he doesn't understand how they want to play their cover 2, cover 3 yet, so leave him out of those situations. But we heard in New Orleans, he was on the right side of the field for like 80% of the time here. If we have him going up against George Pickens, I think that's the move right there. Don't have him kind of move around both sides of the ball. Just kind of have him do what he was doing earlier this year.
It'll be a ton of fun to see how he acclimates into this defense and how the injury is, right? It is a factor in that as well. They've got to make sure to clear him for play as well. I think the hamstring will heal with a little bit of that nice Ashburn air, but I think it's also real, and I think they'll have to manage him carefully, especially throwing him in to this 2 games situation here where you play physical football game against a good team, and then you're going up to Philly 4 days later to play a physical game against a good football team. It's a tough stretch.
We've seen this stretch earlier this season. It's so crucial you win the first game. Because then at the end of the day, you're at least 500, right? You lose the first one here, all of a sudden it snowballs, and you could easily lose back-to-back games with Thursday quick turnaround. I look at the Cincinnati game. They got the exciting win, and it led to the momentum of the Cardinals win as well.
Yep.
Got to win the first one here. Gives yourselves a chance to win the game in Philly.
I think that's absolutely true. I want to give us a little prediction time here. It's Steelers. Commanders is probably going to be a 50-50 crowd. Those Steelers fans always find their way in. It's going to be exciting. Jayden Daniels, I'll tell you this. I don't bet against him with the game on the line. I'm worried about this Steelers defense.
I'm not worried about the Steelers offense. I'm worried about their defense. Like you said, 3 turnovers, first time since 1933. You've had that limited amount of turnovers. I'm worried the Steelers defense could have Jayden cough it up or could make a play in the air or something like that. And a defensive score would completely ruin my Commanders' game plan. But here's my prediction. It's that Russell Wilson doesn't score more than 20 points. So unless the defense gets a touchdown, Commanders win 24-20.
I think 24 is a magic number as well. I don't think they get there, but I think if they can get to 24, they can win. I got a lot of respect for this Steelers defense. I think they got Super Bowl ambitions, and I think they're out to prove it this weekend. Adam, thank you for dropping by.
Always fun.